Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a paid mod that will be coming out. It's been sent to me free of charge by Tennessee. So this should go live around the time it goes out. I'm still waiting. Tennessee is waiting to kind of hear back from whether or not it'll be released. So if you do see this video and you notice there's nothing in the description, don't worry, it'll be out. It'll probably be out around 5, I think it's like 5 p.m. GMT. So as soon as it does come out, I will upgrade the description. So this is a paid mod. It's called Out in the Blackness. And it is going to cost you 400 credits, which is around €4, $4, around £3. And basically the premise behind this mod, I'm going to really quickly read the description they sent me. We're going to summarize. So it's survival out in space isn't just about having to fill your own belly. You're a ship captain, and I can't read the rest of that because Discord is being weird, so I'm just going to speculate what they were saying. You got to worry about a lot of things. Your crew and your ship being one of being them things. Sorry. So it adds ship maintenance into the game, over 20 malfunctions and several unique malfunctions from unique encounters. There's stages where symptoms will get worse if left unrepaired. You can fix, obviously, those symptoms. The skill at which you repair them will be determined by the skill in-game. They also added derelict repairs, so for instance, in the game, there's like derelict ships. You can now kind of, well, they're going to have their own issues, and even ships you disable on board. So it's kind of adding a realistic kind of approach to when you... Actually, if you kind of think of No Man's Sky, when you come across the ships that are kind of damaged and you have to kind of repair them, which we will check out. There's also a crew morale system, which feeding your crew and preventing malfunctions, which makes sense. You keep your crew happy. You also get bonuses when the crew is high morale. Different food or drinks give them higher levels of bonuses, and you can even provide alcohol. Then we have gameplay options. So there is, we'll look at the gameplay options in a minute. All right, so let's jump into the game. We will be testing this on both PC and Xbox. We're currently on PC. My controller, did it die? All right, cool. So here we are on Xbox currently. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the gameplay settings, and there's going to be a load of new settings. So here it is, TN Out in the Blackness. So the whole purpose of this mod is, like, I know I said it already, but it's basically to kind of make ship stuff more realistic and a lot more managing. You know, like, it's just like if you have a car in real life, sometimes your car's grav drive shits the bed. So we've got malfunction frequency, so this controls the rate at which you can gain malfunctions and the rate at which they increase. This is a flat increase or decrease of the chance. It doesn't affect unique. So we have default 125, 150, 175, 200. We can go down to 25. We'll keep it a default. Level scaling. This scales the frequency of gaining a malfunction as well as the likelihood of the malfunction advancing to stage based on your level. At level 1, it'll be the equivalent to half as often. And at level 50, it'll be the equivalent to without level scaling. At level 100, it'll have a 50% higher chance. There's no level cap for scaling. So that basically means the higher level you are, the more kind of chance of it happening. Crew morale system, enabled or disabled. Okay, so enabled by default, the crew morale system requires you to feed your crew members, providing food and drinks for them. You can also choose to provide them with alcohol for a downtime. All of this contributes to the morale, which in turn improves or reduces the effectiveness of your crew perks. Some ship malfunctions can also negatively affect your crew's morale. Hazards affect NPCs when enabled. It allows all NPCs to be affected by hazards, not just the player. Sorry. So the fuel system installed, this is just for another mod, I believe. Now, I don't know if you can you have a mod that does it. So basically, if you have a mod that uses a fuel system, you can enable it. Alternate start compatible. Normally, Out of the Blackness will not start up until the first main quest, so this doesn't interfere with the tutorial. However, when you use alternate start, effectively bypassing that mission, enabling this compatibility skips the checks of the first quest so that the mod can start up. You may need to wait a minute. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go, and there should be some new, also we've modified some stuff. We got some new weapons. Cora. So what we're going to do is we're going to really quickly assign some, or hire some crew. I have a new ship, and we're going to show the new, there's like a new kind of option or like menu that allows you to modify the kind of the ship stuff. Once we kind of test it out on Xbox, we're going to test it on PC afterwards. We will also try and find a derelict ship, or just a ship in general, just to kind of see. So we'll be right back. All right, so here we are in the ship. So if you have an engineering room, the 3x1, any of the HABs versions, there will be this diagnostics terminal. Now you can also build one. If you go to crafting, you got a portable diagnostic terminal. They kind of do the same thing. So we've got a couple of menus and stuff. So you've got diagnostics logs, which you press A, and you've got perform maintenance. So if we press A on diagnostics logs, I think by default it's, yeah, so it's not going to say anything by default because, you know, diagnostics. Now, like the mod says, and I will stress, I'm not intelligent enough to understand how everything works, so this is going to be like layman's explanation. Tennessee has some good videos and guides that I will get them to link in the description or in the comment. But basically, the higher your ship status, I believe, where is it? I believe it's Starship Design and Pilot, I think. Basically, your perks affected. So if we go to perform maintenance, we have quite a few options here. We've got ship status, which currently the warship, it shows the hull, the shield, the repair rate, the shield regen rate, weapon 1, 2, 3, engine, grav drive. We've got system repairs, combat, electrical, grav drive, life support, propulsion, power management. So if we click on these, they give us kind of options: repair weapon 1, repair weapon 2, weapon 3, repair engine systems, repair shields, repair grav drive, repair reactor, combat. So they're the use slots. Lock on time is 3 seconds. And then if we go electrical, that's the EM health of the weapons, reactor above 40. We click on the grav drive, we see the grav drive there. We can turn the gravity up or the gravity down, which basically, it's quite cool. It allows it, like by default, it'll only affect itself when it's free of a gravity well. So if you want 0G, you can definitely do 0G. Life support, there you go. Your life signs detected 5, ship capacity 13. CO2 efficiency 98%. That's a lot of things. I know them. Propulsion. You got max engine thrust, or max speed, reverse speed, strafe speed, maneuvering sensitivity. These are fucking cool. Holy shit. We got power management. This allows us to shut down the reactors, shut down engines, shut down grav drive, depressurize, shut down shields. So if we were to, say for instance, shut down the engines will power down. Engines are offline. Now, you'll see their engines shut down. Engines offline warning. Now, this isn't going to, like, necessarily... We should actually probably go up to space to test this. We'll be back. Alright, so we're back in space. Ooh, wrong button. Whoopsie. So obviously, when you click the A button, nothing is going to pop up on the logs until you actually have a problem. We'll go back into ship status, and we'll go across to power management. So obviously, if you turn off the engines, it'll just basically mean that you can't move. So we're going to do that again. Engines are powering down. You get a little prompt saying engines are offline. We're going to really quickly go up here and attempt to fly, see what happens. Come on. I knew there was one thing I forgot, and that was the boost pack. Right, so we're hopping in the pilot seat. So obviously, this could occur in combat. You could lose engines. As you can see, we've got no engine power at all. As you can see, we're kind of completely stationary. So we're in this situation, this scenario, we can just go back down and we can enable the engine. But obviously, if we were in a combat situation, we would need to make repairs on the engine. Whoopsie. So we're gonna. Actually, I think it will let me. Let me see. If I press diagnostic logs, it'll tell me. Okay, yeah, so diagnostic logs, as you see here, enact repair. So in order to fix our engines normally, we would need 5 tungsten, 4 stentic manifolds, and 6 adaptive frames. As you can see there, enter maintenance term 1. What does that mean? Oh, okay, so... Okay. Unable to move. Replace engine nozzles. All right, I'm assuming that's blocked because I did it myself. Let me just double check. Let me turn her back on. We will obviously do some, like, when we get into combat properly, we will do some proper testing. We're just going to showcase some of them. So we're going to go over here. Power management. We're going to restart our engines. Engines are going to reboot. I think we got to give it a minute. We'll back out. Are we back online? Let me see. I'm going to really quickly, we're going to TCL outside the ship. Engines restart successful. Perfect. Let me go back into the ship. Okay. Let me back here. All right. So you can also, with the ship status, you can also, for power management, you can shut down the grav drive. Obviously, what happens when you shut down the grav drive? You lose 0G. Or we're in 0G. Everything floats. Grav drive offline, artificial gravity lost. And again, if this was, you can't use this while 0G. What? Uh-oh. Excuse me? Alright, hold on. That could be 1 second. Alright, so I'm just waiting for Tennessee to get back to me. Alright, cool. Also, your crew will put on their stuff and all that. Alright, so we're gonna, for now, we're just gonna turn it back on. Power management. We're gonna restart grav drive. Come on, kick in. Get down. Don't break your knees. Bend your knees. Wait for it. Wait, why do we have explosive barrels just everywhere? Here we go. I told you. Bend the knees. All right. So now we're obviously with this option. If you shut down your reactor, everything will go down. Depressurize just means that you will be running off of your own suit's oxygen, which means you can suffocate if you're not paying attention. And then shields is just shields. So if we click on the diagnostic menu, you'll see here, these are all of the different issues that can happen. So you've got artificial gravity fluctuation. You can run a scan for this. So, and it will kind of tell you if it's so like, let's say for instance, if something's up, you won't know immediately. You will have to use some of these. So we got grav drive instability, infested, internal heat loss, maneuvering thruster lost, corroded hull, hazardous air, insufficient boost fuel injection, low oxygen, power drain, fuel leak, hull integrity loss, internal heat buildup, maneuvering compensators, malfunction. We've got reduced available oxygen, reduced engine thrust, reduced shield strength, slow shield recharge. Radiation exposure, reduced boost speed, reduced fuel efficiency, reduced weapon effectiveness, slowed weapon recharge, reactor instability, reduced cargo capacity, reduced jump thrust, repair speed hampered, and unstable breakers. Give me 1 second. So, sorry. So when it comes to food and items, you can put them, anything you put in the in your ship, they will use. So for instance, in my cargo, I have a lot of generic food, but I've got 100 Boom Pop orange, 100 chunks potatoes, and 100 whiskey that they will use. Obviously, your crew will use. And they'll kind of take, I think it's like every day they take some. All right, so I was just talking to Tennessee a little bit. So as you've seen there with the grav drive, when we turned off the grav drive, if there's one problem that will cause the grav drive to basically lose G, and you don't actually need to go into the diagnostic. You can do it through the repair option. So as you see here, we can burn Wanderlust spores, depolarize the hull, maintain grav drive, patch micro tears, change CO2 filters, exterminate xenogrubs, patch fuel lines, poison heat leeches, clean corrosion buildup, free shield housing, patch hull damage, replace engine nozzles, scrub space mold, unblock thrusters, repair ship radiators, replace reactor shielding, top up coolant, weapon couplers maintenance, replace couplers, run virus scans, treat re-entry scoring. Now each of these, if you click them, it will tell you what you need in order to do them. So for instance, for this one, Wanderlust spores, love to get on board your ship and corrode the hull. and use the helium-3 as a food source. Attempt to burn away the spores. It requires 5 monopropellant, 10 aluminum, and 10 iron. So this mod is very much going to be... Sorry, I'm moving a lot. This mod is, like I said, it's very much kind of for people who are looking for, like, super immersive. Like, if you're the sort of person that, like, kind of likes kind of, you know, easy, doesn't have to worry about a lot of micromanaging, this probably isn't the mod for you. We can also click more information. We have some really... Oh my god, a lot of lore. Very cool. We'll click another one, for instance. We'll do free shield housing. If your shield housing is fused, you will need to free the housing to perform maintenance on panels that requires vanadium, palladium, and microsecond regulators. The mechanism of your shield will rely primarily on creating strong electromagnetic fields and generating a ton of power that can interfere with any matter or energy heading for your ship. It's no surprise then that the shield generator is a sensitive machine. Shields often begin to fail when the housing around the shield makes enough heat for the housing to fuse itself together and short-circuit the system. Thankfully, this doesn't mean that the shield generator itself is busted, and if the shield housing can be rebuilt, the generator will be fine. The materials needed will not be cheap, though. God damn, fair play, Tennessee. Some fucking intense shit here. Let's look for another one. We'll do replace engine nozzles. If your engine nozzle might have deteriorated over time, leading to reduced engine output, you can attempt to replace the nozzle with tungsten, authentic manifolds, and adaptive frames. More information. Engines have a lot of important pieces. There's a lot that can go wrong with your engines, but the nozzles of the engine are undergoing the most stress. The temperature coming out of the back of your engine should melt most materials, so it isn't surprising when all that stress eventually damages them. Using this comes from the forces and temperature and can over time wear away the metal, crack them, or just cause them to melt slowly. It's important to get your engine nozzles replaced every few million miles or so. It takes some it just sounds really funny. Few million miles. It takes some really expensive, resilient materials to act as nozzles as well, given just how much stress they're under if you don't. Expect your engine to performance right down the drain. So obviously, these are all kind of... What's this one? You want to run a virus scan for a possible computer virus? It's important to run regular virus scans. The system has a lot of dodgy wireless connection hubs, and then re-entry scoring. Atmospheric re-entry will reduce the heat shield around your ship's hull over time. If this coating wears off, it will damage external parts of your ship, treating the hull with this heat protection as advised. Entering and leaving a planet with atmosphere can be quite taxing on a ship's hull. Thankfully, with modern shields and advances in material engineering, ships are quite sturdy and capable of entering atmospheres many times without suffering many ill effects. However, there are limits to this, even for advanced materials, and the heat generated in friction will often cause the outer hull to melt and smear in places, making it difficult to repair and properly maintain. Scouring the scoring, and replacing the protective layers around the hull can help improve the outcomes of scoring and reduce the risk of further damage. In some cases, panels on the hull will be beyond repair and need to be replaced as well. It requires adaptive frames, polymer, and sealants. Now, if we go down to crew supplies, as you'll see here, crew morale, 10%, last cycle morale, unfed crew. We've got 116 units of food, 0 of high quality food. We've got 106 units of fluid, 101 of which is high quality drinks, 122 units of alcohol, 0 high quality alcohol, 0 nutrients, and 0 water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really quickly spawn in the nutrients and stuff, just because I'm wondering what high quality food. I'm assuming that means like something not from chunks, which makes sense. We'll be right back. All right, so we're back. So I tried to spawn in some steak sandwiches. Apparently they're not high quality. I'm just waiting on Tennessee to get back to me about that. You can also you can attempt to serve food and drink. Food and drink must be in your ship's cargo. You can disable alcohol. That will have effects. A how-to guide. This is the diagnostic terminal. Most ships have a diagnostic terminal built into their engineering hab, if they have one. It provides essential information for maintaining your ship. If your ship does not have a terminal, either because it doesn't have an engineering or the manufacturer didn't include one, you can purchase a portable one inside your ship. This found the crafting. The diagnostic terminal has 3 functions. The first function is information. Everything your average ship engineer needs to know about maintaining your ship can be found within. The second is for diagnosing and carrying out repairs on your ship system. You can find these under the diagnostic menu. which allow you to run diagnostic for specific repairs, and repair options, which allow you to carry out specific repairs. But while advanced ship engineers may be able to use these tools without any additional information, the third function of the diagnostic is the diagnostic logs. Logs show you all of the errors that have been discovered through running diagnostic and will provide recommendations on what kind of repairs. See the diagnostic log. Lastly, the diagnostic terminal also provides a convenient place for handling inventory on crew supplies and handling your ship's fuel supplies if gameplay is an option. Now, fuel supplies is not a thing on this. You would have to download a separate mod. You can go to a galley or cooking station to access your crew supplies, and you can also access fuel supplies in the pilot seat. Put in status. As you gain proficiency with your ship, you will start to notice errors showing on your HUD in the status page of when you pause. When you enter the ship, errors you are proficient in noticing will show up on the HUD in the same manner as an environmental hazard. You can go to your status page to see more information about the error, as well as a full list of errors. When you notice an error, you can manually mark it in the diagnostics terminal rather than running a scan. In order to gain these insights in your ship, you will need to level up certain ship-related perks in order to notice them. Each type of error has its own perk that is responsible for it. If you notice an error, you can usually see what perk and rank is associated with in the diagnostics log under the required perk. For hull-related errors, you need ranks in Starship Design. For grav-related errors, you need Astrodynamics. For reactor, you need a anitronic fusion. For propulsion, you need engine systems. For shields, you need shields. For life support, you need planetary habitation. For biological contamination, you need zoology. For weapons, you need ranks in ship weapons, including for automatics, despite what weapons you may have on your ship. Some errors will have unique perks. For instance, reduced cargo capacity will be detected with either Starship Design or payloads. Some errors, which are immediately obvious, such as grav drive being offline or atmosphere in your ship being vented, do not require perks automatically and show up in both pages. Caring for your crew. Taking care of your crew is an important task for any ship captain, whether you have a crew of just a handful or a full complement to man every turret and station. Crew members need three primary things: lodging, good clean air, and supplies. You already cannot have more crew members than you have lodgings, and as long as you maintain the ship, clean air should continue to pump, but supplies will be a necessity. It will be necessary. Grab as much food and water as you can at any port of call. You can see the amount of crew supplies in the crew supplies menu at the diagnostic terminal or an extra screen at any galley or cooking station. From there you can see how much food, water, even alcohol, and how much high quality food or drink increase the morale faster and will be chosen by your crew members randomly from what is available. If you have alcohol enabled and available enabled, crew members can also imbibe in their downtime, increasing morale faster. Only crew members who are above age will drink alcohol. Cora will not. I remember Tennessee sent me this to test out on stream, and then they were like, wait, you need this version. And I was like, well, what's going on? It's like, I need to make it so Cora can't drink alcohol. And I was like, fair. Lastly, basic nutrients and water can sustain a crew, but they won't raise any morale. All supplies must be in the ship's cargo hold for your crew to access. Any food in your person is just for you. Morale is a representation of how well your crew are feeling on board. Each 24-hour cycle, they will consume supplies, and morale will go up or down depending on many factors. You do not raise or lower faster with more crew members, but you need to supply more food and drink for more crew. Any malfunction which negatively affects air quality or living, such as hazardous air, will negatively impact crew morale, and these effects are cumulative. Sometimes no amount of high-quality alcohol is a replacement for being able to breathe. What? Bullshit. If you find that you are unable to supply your crew adequately, don't fret. You have a cycle to be able to provide enough supplies. You will see unfed and unquenched in the supplies menu. If you gather supplies and put them in the cargo, you can use it to serve food and drinks to make up for the deficient and appease the crew. Having them subsist on basic nutrients and water will allow you to still serve them food to make up for a later time. You cannot serve alcohol at a later time, however. The effects on morale depend entirely on crew members. Morale has two primary effects. Morale affects how quickly ship systems get damaged, and it affects crew perks. High morale will lower the chance of system damage, while low morale will increase the chance. Each crew perk gives a different buff or negative morale. Usually the benefit is an increase to whatever the perk normally gives, and opposite with the low morale. Morale can range from negative 100% to 100%. A morale of 0 is neutral. You will not see penalties until you hit negative crew morale, so negative anything under Crew morale carries between ships, and crew morale is infectious. Even if you change out crew members, the overall crew morale will remain the same. The only way to raise or lower morale is to allow cycles to pass. If you rest for a long period of time, more cycles will pass while resting, which may result in you... which may allow you to take the crew to a nice destination and have everyone rest up for all to quickly raise morale with R&R. And then salvaging derelicts. During your journey, you may come across derelict ships or may end up damaging an enemy vessel to the point of being disabled. In either cases, boarding a ship gives you an opportunity, but not without cost. Enemy ships you have disabled, but especially derelicts, can have a whole host of problems. Derelicts in particular are derelict for a reason. Sometimes the issue on board is a minor fix, but sometimes extensive repairs can need to be made. In addition to enemy ships and derelicts having a host of normal malfunctions that can be present, they could also have a critical malfunction. If a ship has a hazardous effect, such as a radiation leak not caused by a normal malfunction, then it's considered a critical malfunction. You must repair critical malfunctions before you can pilot the ship. Most critical malfunctions require ship parts and a specific resource needed for the repair. You can find the screen to repair them at the pilot seat, where you can run remote diagnostics on the ship using the ship's computer while docked. Once critical malfunctions are repaired, you will gain full access to a derelict ship by hacking the pilot seat with a digipick. This will also allow you to add the ship to your ship's registry of unauthorized users. This won't be necessary in enemy ships, since most cases a user was just logged in and you can simply use it. Remote diagnostics does not give you access to diagnostics logs needed to make complicated repairs. Once you claim a ship as your own, you can build your own diagnostic terminal or fly it to a ship technician and use their facilities. Okay, so what we're going to do now is... what's installation? Okay, cool. That's only for if you're installing. So we're going to go and we're going to do some combat and see if we can get a little bit damaged. And we'll be right back. Alright, so we're on Xbox now. As always, I am playing on gameplay. Playing on 60 and performance. And if we go into our gameplay options, we'll see this is like a fresh save. So we've got all the settings there, just to confirm. Bum, bum, bum. All right, all that is perfect. Now what we're gonna do is so I will stress, obviously, the Blackness is initialized. Enter and re-exit your ship before using any feature. Okay, cool. So obviously, Tennessee being the creator, they're clearly going to know a lot more than me. So this is just a rough kind of guide to showcase it, because it's an awesome mod. And it's definitely one I'm going to use. I'm probably going to turn down some of the features because I think I'm like level 100. And yeah, but we'll see. Well, I'll have it during streams and stuff. I'll need to like get a box of materials. So yeah, so there's a load of guides, video guides that there's. Well, I don't say a load. I think there's a few. So if you do plan on downloading this mod, or you kind of want more of a kind of more interest on the mod, obviously we're gonna link to Tennessee's guides and stuff. We're just gonna very quickly test power drain. Uh-oh. All right. Apparently, well, that's okay. So this is actually perfect. So we've got a power drain of some sort. So if we go diagnostic log, it's not going to tell me anything currently. So I think what I need to do is there's a power drain. So we're going to perform maintenance, and we're going to go diagnostic menu, and we're going to click on power drain, and we're going to run a scan. So we run a scan, you exit the terminal. It'll take a little bit of time depending. It'll take 5 minutes. Now this depends on you remember the perk. So because I have anitronic fusion, it should be quicker. Do I have anitronic fusion? Yeah, it should be quicker. We're just gonna wait a little bit until it's done, and we will be back. All right, I waited. It now says diagnostic results. Your ship diagnostics computer found an error in your power system. Your ship has less power available due to a power drain. So I can now click A on the diagnostic log, and it'll come up. There we go. So repairs require power systems, power drain. So, oh, whoops, wrong button, whoopsie. Actually, I pressed wrong button. So we're going to go power system. We click on it, and then there's a power drain in your system stage 1 to 2, 3 to 4. Okay. we go back to enact repairs, we can repair these, obviously. Poison heat leeches, replace shielding. So replace the couplers is, I believe, the one we need. Let me just double check. So yeah, so we need to replace couplers. So that requires us to get zero wire spool, and poly textiles. So what I'm going to do is, just because I'm on Xbox currently, I might swap back to PC. Just to make it easier to spawn these items. See, yeah, see, a lot of these, some of these aren't gonna be too hard to find. Obviously some are. We'll be right back. All right, so just a quick heads up, I'm an idiot. So when you do the diagnostic logs, you can click on them, and the way it basically works is, so we know that we have a power drain, and that means it could require any of those options. Now, you kind of, as the power thing gets worse, as you see their stages, it will become more apparent what exactly is the problem, what are the symptoms. So currently, the options we can do is replace couplers, poison heat leeches, replace reactor shielding, or maintain grav drive. So this section here, you can't, I was wondering why it doesn't work. You can't actually fix them through here. You have to go into the actual... You have to go into the actual perform maintenance. So obviously, when we go to the repair option, there is obviously ways you can repair. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to try heat leeches. So this requires 10 toxin and 2 batteries. So obviously it's going to say we don't have the materials. So we're going to really quickly give us the materials. Now, normally you could just kind of guess. Tennessee says, obviously, depending on the issue, you can kind of assume. But if you're not really sure, as the symptoms get worse, you kind of get more and more into it. It'll kind of explain what's going on. So I'm going to really quickly spawn in this stuff and we'll be back. All right, so I'm going to assume it's the heat leeches. So we're going to poison the heat leeches. Confirm. Please exit terminal, begin diagnostic, repair. Repair is going to take 5 minutes, and then we will be back and we'll determine what it is. So obviously, like I said, though, Tennessee has a far more in-depth review. This is just kind of me like showcasing it. I really do like it. Obviously, there's a lot to it. We're gonna wait 5 minutes. We'll be back. All right, repairs have been completed. Let's see if it worked. Haha, it worked. Perfect. Now we go back to the diagnostic logs. We're good. All right, so as you, the 5 minutes, that will go down as your engineering skill goes up. So the more you kind of progress and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's an awesome mod. There's a lot of detail went into it. I know Tennessee was saying it took them a long time to do. And I think a lot of people are going to appreciate it, just for the kind of, the more hardcore kind of ship players. It gives you something to kind of do. Keep your ship maintained, all the crew stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think, and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.